This is one of those weekends, man. You got college tonight, Cavs, Ohio State tomorrow, NFL on the Saturday. And then there's the Browns. Nice if this was to clinch to go to the playoffs. It would be such a perfect weekend. But you got a chance to knock the Bengals out of the playoffs, an opportunity to do that on Sunday. Does that actually mean anything to you? Is that something that you carry with you to knock out another team out of the playoffs? That question's been bantered around the locker room. We're getting ready to go for DTR to get the start. But it's going to be a great sports weekend, man. It starts tonight. You got Notre Dame, Indiana. They're building snowmen out there at the stadium in South Bend. Snowy. Interesting pick I have for that game tonight. Ryan and I, you want to do the college games too?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll pick the college games, so we'll start that. We got our NFL picks. We'll get to that. What a weekend it is going to be. We'll get you set for all of it. Cavs back in action. It's been 84 years since the Cavs have played, but they welcome in the NBA. Okay, I got to talk about the NBA Cup because somebody said you will not be considered a great player. I think it was Nick Wright on Fox said you can't be considered a great player unless you win the NBA Cup. What? What is that?
Is that the new standard?
Bucks are coming in. Maybe a little hungover from their NBA Cup action. I don't know, but we'll discuss all that. Actually, I have a lot of NBA to get to.
I wonder if he'd be saying that if LeBron didn't win last year.
So that, I think, has a lot to do with it, but it's also something that I don't even know will be around in 5 years.
Michael Jordan has 0 NBA Cup titles.
Exactly. Like, I we'll get to that because also LeBron spoke about some of the issues that the NBA is facing right now. And I think he nailed it on the head. I think he brought up a great point about an issue in the NBA right now. So we'll get to that. So we got football, we got basketball. We'll get going. I got some guards this morning. Buster Olney with some love for the Gardos. We got it. We'll get to the bracket. Ryan, the grid. Now, we had to burn Wordle yesterday.
Yeah, we got to get
But the grid is back today. We'll get to time up. We got the morning update. It's a beautiful Friday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. So happy to have you alongside. Today's one of those days. I don't wish this day away. I don't wish any days away. But yeah, man, gearing up for tonight. We got football all day tomorrow. Getting into Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be following on Twitter, X, at Matt Fontana Show. You can follow us on Instagram, Big Play. The YouTube channel is Big Play. And also, we're up on Twitch. You can drop us follows as well. At Ryan Tyler 33. I'm at Matt Fontana 83. Somebody drop a follow. I got to get back over 20,000, man. I was there. They purged some bots, election bots. Let's get there. Drop us a follow there if you got it. Browns. The debate rages on about what this team is going to do. And you obviously have sent a little signal by going to Dorian Thompson-Robinson that you're thinking about the future. Where this team currently sits, though, to get out of this hole, it doesn't seem that far away. And I know the pain is you don't have the quarterback, which is the most important situation. You got guys injured. Your offensive line is taking steps back. You're not as far off as you think. And that's me sitting here wearing a Browns shirt, being a lifelong Browns fan. And that's been our motto for 25 years, Ryan. Wait till next year. And we'll get there eventually. And you've built it up, and you've had small runs, and you've torn it back down, and you've wasted draft picks. You traded away draft picks. You spent bad money. I want to break the cycle. You're back in it, though. And you're probably in the worst spot that you've been since you've come back. Even worse than 1-15 and 0-16. Because at least then you had top draft picks and you hit on some of those picks. You don't have those right now. You'll have a top 10 pick, and I hope they turn that into a nice player. Your salary cap that everybody wants to talk about. I want it to be something that I can reach out and grab. Something that I feel like if we're just a quarterback away. Now, you and I were talking before the show, Ryan, and you brought up a good point. You go, where's the quarterback? Go find him for me. It's not that easy. We've been searching. Other teams search, and when they find him, they don't let him go. I have to believe that this team is close. I just can't operate any different way. And I'm putting my head in the sand, and that gets your butt kicked. and people sit there and scream about all the issues facing this team. I understand all of it. I just got to believe that you're just a quarterback, though. I so badly want to believe that if you can just find, and I'm just talking for next year, a bridge, a competent quarterback. I can believe in Jerry Jeudy. I'll believe in Myles Garrett. I'll believe in Denzel Ward and all these other things. I'm sitting here trying to tell myself that we don't belong in the same group as the Raiders or the Jags or the Giants. When people sit there and they say, you've got no tangible examples to try to sit there and say you don't belong with those people, because you do. They're some of the worst teams in the NFL. You're in that group. I just don't want to buy that. And I'm closer to this situation. I know this team more. I know the roster more. And I just refuse to believe that we're just screwed.
I mean, I would love for you to talk me through it, Matt, because, yeah, you can say you're a quarterback away, but realistically, that's not true. I mean, I could go through this team, the amount of injuries, the amount of regression, the older you're getting. And yeah, you're maybe a quarterback away. If you can get a top 5 quarterback, even a top 10 quarterback, where are you getting that in the foreseeable future? What are we going to do? Sing songs next year if we go to the wild card round again?
Sure.
That's our standard.
Right. I want to get back to winning and trying to go win championships. Ryan, I guess I could make the case that any team is just a quarterback away.
Yes, a top,
Once you find him, and then you're right, you got to put pieces around. And I know the debate is raging, and they've been talking about trading Myles Garrett and all that kind of stuff. That is moves you cannot do. You can't do that. And I get Myles is a year older, and no matter what you get back in compensation, it would not be enough.
I don't know, Matt.
A tangible return.
For what?
A tangible
to
return.
be average at best for the next 3-4 years until Myles drifts off.
You would not be able to find another Myles Garrett.
I understand.
You just wouldn't be able to find another one of those guys.
I get that, but what does it do if Myles Garrett's on our team for the next 3-4 years and we're just subpar? What does that do for us?
Sorry.
What does that do for us?
Sorry.
What do you mean sorry?
You're also banking on that you're actually going to hit on those picks.
Obviously, it's especially if Andrew Berry's making them. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case.
It's a whole nother ball.
But what are we gonna do? Have another Joe Thomas, a Hall of Fame career where he just sits here and what? Now Myles would be in one playoff game, one playoff win.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I mean, again, you've wasted a lot of talent over the years, but at this point, the only hope that you have is to keep it together the best you can and find a quarterback. That's it. That's your only. Tearing it down does nothing. Tearing it down actually sets you further back. And what you're talking about is a full and complete reset. How often does that actually ever happen? How often where you actually hit on these picks and you get them all and you stockpile them? The other thing is we're talking about the NFL. There's a reason that teams tank in basketball. There's a borderline reason why teams tank in baseball. Football is set up for fast, quick turnarounds because that's what they want. Think about how many different teams you would look at. The Jags were just in the playoffs a couple of years ago. The Giants were just in the playoffs a couple of years ago. We were just in the playoffs last year.
I don't want to just be in the playoffs.
I know, but that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and we were there, and what happened?
Of getting to compete.
And what happened? You took
lost.
A giant gamble, and now you're the worst team in the league again, Matt.
You lost. But there's no reason you can't just get back to at least that standard. I get what you're talking about. We want to get back to competing for championships.
What
We've not
quarterback
done that in my lifetime
would you see in a Browns uniform in the next 2-3 years where you're going to be like, yep, that's a quarterback pick?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't tell you what the draft's going to be next year or the year after that. And that's where you'd say get more ammo, make more picks, go find your guys. Sure, there is a way out of this. And I don't think tearing it down and sending off the few good players that you were able to find and keep, I refuse to let Deshaun Watson kill this team. I just refuse to let that deal kill this team. And we did the article yesterday from Bill Barnwell about this is the worst move maybe in the history of the game, right? I am not going to just roll over and die. I'm not going to sit here and say, we gave up the picks, gave up the money, we're just going to crawl in a hole for 4 years. I'm not going to do that. And I don't think the Browns are going to do that either. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And it's tough because we're in the thick of it right now. I'm not about just to roll over and die. I'm just not going to do it. And the problem is I've then got to do what? Put my faith into some guys and into some people in that organization that have really given you not much tangible reasons to give them faith or give them options to go out there and fix this. But I don't have any other choice. Until they fire Andrew Berry, which I don't think they're going to do, he is going to be picking the 7th overall pick or 5th overall pick or whatever it is. By the way, big weekend for that. Because you got what? What's the game this weekend that, it is almost for the first pick?
I don't know who the Giants and Raiders play.
No, there was a game I was looking at. Panthers have the Cards. Giants have the Falcons. The Raiders play Monday night, and they're a giant dog. So, I thought there was a game that was like, or they play each other next week or something like that. But I'm not getting into the draft picks. I don't care where they pick.
That's crazy.
But as long as Andrew Berry is the general manager, I have to believe that he's going to make the right pick and get us out of this hole. That's it. That's all where I'm at. And you go to Sunday, and I thought about this as our question this morning as well. Like, does it do anything for you, Ryan, of sending the Bengals home? Because if they lose, they're out. And you're going to get what? A supremely motivated Joe Burrow coming to town, and they know they have a small chance to make it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather lose for the pick.
I know you would. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that.
All right, man.
Try to send them home. I'm sure send them home. That's that. But it's like,
does that do?
That doesn't. That's kind of the thing. I don't really care about that. That's not a motivation for me to keep the Bengals out of the playoffs. I want to just go win a football game. I want to go feel what that means to win a football game. That's it. That's all I ever want. And it's going to be an uphill battle with DTR. And I'm going to watch that game intently, like a lot of people, to see what does DTR have. All right, he's got the full week of practice. Here we go. Great job. You know, Grossi had a great article. He goes, Ken Dorsey finally has the quarterback he thought he was going to be calling plays for. It's just not Deshaun Watson. It's Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Throw him on out there. See what you got. That's the excitement for me coming up on Sunday. It's not a good excitement. I'm not saying we're in a good spot right now. We know that. But I'm not going to let – you can sit there and if you want to just throw your hands up and say that this Deshaun Watson deal has just killed the Cleveland Browns and they're going to have to soak in this for 3 years and deal with it. If you want to do that, that's fine. I can't do that. I just can't do that.
It's just it seems the only way to win a championship is you draft your quarterback, a young rookie, you build around him on his rookie deal, and the Browns now can't do that for how many more years? You already wasted how much time with Deshaun Watson, and now you're going to have to keep wasting more time because of that contract. Like maybe if this year you could get Cam Ward or Shador, it'd be different.
Right.
But the reality is you're not getting either one of them.
No, and that's the thing. Maybe there is a time that they may decide to make that move or they try to make a splash. I don't know. You know, that's the hard part. They have a lot of ways to do it, and none of them are concrete. And none of these are, without a shadow of a doubt, the right path to go down.
And maybe it'd be different. You wouldn't have to tear it down. I know you're still in that mindset. If you just didn't have, you had horrible play from Deshaun Watson, that deal didn't work, and the money, whatever, but you lost 3 first-round draft picks.
I know.
3.
I know, and you can go back.
You
and
lost
circle
3 years of
and
getting a top tier talent, and now you're seeing the fruits of your labor.
Exactly.
With an old O-line that's just beat up and injured, a secondary that you thought was going to be great. They've regressed hard. I mean, every single part of this team has regressed since that trade.
Okay, I'm gonna just be the optimist for a second. Jerry Jeudy has shown up and he's been pretty good, right? Okay, fine. The offensive line, yeah. If DeJuan Jones can be your guy at left tackle, Wyatt Teller's still playing at a high level. I really think a lot of the offensive line problems came from Deshaun Watson, be honest with you.
That's fair, but are we really going to sit here and project DeJuan Jones to be our future left tackle?
You got to leave it open that Wyatt Teller's a former All-Pro, as is Jack Conklin. And I get they're older.
I'll leave the door open. Deshaun Watson was a Pro Bowler and led the league in passing.
Sure. You need to find a running back. You'll find a running back. Defensively, you have a stout D-line led by one of the best players in football. You'll get Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah back.
Hopefully.
I hope. And yes, your secondary should be an elite number 1 corner, a big regression from MJ. Newsom's hurt. Safeties, whatever.
Newsom's bad. Grant Delpit is okay. Rodney McLeod is not good. He'll be retired. Juan Thornhill is horrible. He'll be off the team.
Yeah, he's going to be gone. But it's I just can't. There is good. I know you don't want to see it right now. I know you can't see it right now.
But there's good on every team. There's good on every team.
But I think there's better here than some other teams. And I'm not trying to just be a little bit better than the Raiders. But the conversation about feeling like you have to all get it back right now, I just can't buy that. And also, who is going to line up for that trade? To do what? The only teams that would entertain a trade like that are teams that are perennially in the playoffs. Why would I want 2 or 3 picks at 25 and 27? No, absolutely not. And then if you go, well, you could just move up in the draft. Then you're talking about just 1 pick that you get back. You could have 100 picks. I doubt you'd be able to find somebody like Myles Garrett. It's just, I get that it's the easy thing to do. We're looking for the easy route out. It's not going to be. It's going to be really hard. And we're just going to have to deal with it. And that's the thing that sucks. And trying to build up and find and fight to for next season. We know this season is fried. But you just got to try to keep, just stay on the course here. I get that you had Deshaun Watson, and this has just gone the worst that you can completely imagine it to be. You pay that. There is no quick fix on this. And you do it. The draft picks are already gone, and you'll deal with the money. We'll come out the other side of this. And I think if you want to entertain blowing this up, you actually set yourself further back. Where there's a world we can compete next year, there's a world we can compete in 2026. I think you trade off all these pieces, we're talking 2028, 2030, I might be dead.
Well,
you know,
none of it matters if you don't have a quarterback.
Does trading away Myles Garrett get you closer to finding a quarterback?
Sure as hell doesn't make you further away from it.
I think it does.
How?
Because just finding a quarterback. Okay, let's say you get all the picks and you go and you draft a quarterback, but he's on a bad team. This goes back to the conversation we've had about parallel universes, right? There's a parallel universe that Josh Rosen is a Hall of Famer, right? You can go find that quarterback, but if he comes to a god-awful team, and you could give me the Joe Burrow example.
Josh Allen came to a team when they didn't make the playoffs in how many years?
I get it, but they still had some good players on that team. And they've changed that team over again. And I think the big mark is when you see teams like the Bills and the Chiefs, they traded away some of their really good players because they found their elite guy, but those guys were still there for the development years. The development of Patrick Mahomes was with Tyreek Hill. The development of Josh Allen was with Stephon Diggs. Those guys serve their purpose, then they trade him off. I still need guys here to serve that purpose. I can't just find a guy and throw him in on a team that is a roster that should go 2-15. I can't do that.
Did it.
That roster's better than you think. They didn't get rid of Terry McLaurin.
They got rid of Montez Sweat literally the year before, their best defensive player.
Yeah, Chase Young was kind of a bust. Yeah, they made some trades, but you still see that they have talent there. And yeah, they've had a great year, and they're set up well for the future. I just can't tear it all down and then just imaginally think that some rookie quarterback's going to fix everything. I just can't do it. I can't. And you're going to get a good look at the Bengals on how finicky that can be when you don't have a lot of good players around. Look at what happened to the Bengals, right?
Yes, but
they got rid of everybody on that defensive side. They can't find an offensive lineman to save their life, and they're basically in the same boat that we are.
Yeah, that's because Mike Brown won't pay anybody on defense. He let Jesse Bates go because he wouldn't pay him, and Trey Hendrickson's probably going to be gone next year. We'll see about that. Like, the Browns don't have that problem. They would spend the money to do it.
No, but it still comes back to you can't pay everybody. That's where you get back to the loss of the draft picks and not having cheap guys on rookie contracts. That's where you get lost.
I mean, we could talk about this, but rookie quarterbacks more now than ever, you just see the instant impact they make. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the Browns just can't find that. The closest thing he had to it was Baker. And whether the narrative, whatever, he spent his time here, it ran its course here in Cleveland. I mean, look at what he's doing in Tampa, Matt.
But that, again, that comes back to, did he need to learn there? Did he need to get things figured out
regardless
here? I get it. No, and trust me, I don't. Again, it's going to be hard because you don't know exactly what you're going to get, who you're going to get, when you're going to get them. So you got to sit here and piece it together. That's why I can't buy in to just getting rid of everything because a full reset is not needed. I really don't think that. There's not some rule in the NFL that says to find a franchise quarterback and draft a guy that you have to tear it all down. You just don't have to do that. It's the easy thing to do because that's what we know.
Well, history tell you got to draft a first-round quarterback.
You do, and they can. Go ahead. Go ahead. They think it's Jalen Milroe? Go ahead. Make your evaluation. Trade back up in that first round. Do some. Sure. But again, you can do that without having to trade anybody. All you got to do is walk up to that podium in May and go, yep. People, there'll be conversations left and right if that was the right call or not. But sure, I will listen to that. I want Mason Graham. I want Mykel Williams. Those are probably the smarter picks. I would not complain for a second. Mark this down.
No,
save
I wouldn't
it.
either.
I would not complain for a second if they walked up there at 7 and took Jalen Milroe. Is he deserving of that pick? Probably not. But at least it's a shot. At least it's a dart that you throw on the off chance that he could be it. Go get me another go get me another veteran guy to kind of walk him along or sit him down for a little while. Sure. That's it. That's all I got. But tearing it down, you don't have to do it. You just do not have to do it to get where you want to go. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you don't have to do it. All right, we'll get to the Friday report card coming up. Bengals, Browns coming up on Sunday, but we got to talk Saturday. Buckeyes, let's go. Now, I know this is going to be a hard conversation for Ryan because he's not an Ohio State fan, but I want to post this on Twitter. You can follow us at Matt Fontana Show. How you feeling for Saturday night? Are you excited? Are you nervous? I just like, this is where I think the Ryan Day conversation is bleeding into some Ohio State fandom. Because you're a 7-point favorite. You're at home. We talked to Spencer Holbrook a lot about this game yesterday. And I just don't feel like, I feel like people are fanning scared on this. They're afraid to jump into the deep end and root for Ohio State tomorrow night. That Michigan loss was 3 weeks ago, and that's still bleeding over, and what Ryan Day is going to do and all that. It's just, I don't feel like people are up for this game. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe tomorrow will be better. But I just, right now, and I was talking about myself, but even like friends that I know that are Ohio State fans, like I don't know if I get the vibe for this game, and I think it's because people have this like sick thing in the back of their head, just thinking so much about Ryan Day. Like, we're focused on that instead of being focused on the game. And I hope that's not happening to the team. I hope Will Howard's not walking out there going, I better save Ryan Day's job here. They better be laser focused, because if not, Tennessee's going to take it to him. Yeah. I do feel like this is a game Ohio State's going to win and cover. But Ryan, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot swirling right now with the Buckeyes, and very few of it is about this game. It's about everything else.
Yeah, because you guys are just, I say you guys, that's not right of me to do that, but I'm not an Ohio State fan. You guys are so short-sighted. You lose to Michigan. You act like it's the end of the world. You're in the college football playoff. Now you're going to be in it every single year because of the 12-team format, and you're over here worried about your coach because you can't beat Michigan. I understand there's a standard at Ohio State, and it's expected you have to beat Michigan, especially going from Urban, a guy who never lost to Michigan, to Ryan Day, a guy who can't beat Michigan. I get it, but damn, man, who are you going to get if you fire Ryan Day? It's ridiculous.
No, I get it, and I've said the same thing. Like, I don't want to get rid of him, and I hope that the Buckeyes show up and are able to save his job and all that. But it's like, it's just, it's not there. It's just, there's something about this game. It's just not there for me. And I'm excited for it. Like, I can't wait to sit down, but I just have this nervousness behind me. Instead of just being focused on being excited for a game, I got this pit in my stomach. They're going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, well, you have $25 million college roster. You're playing Tennessee, who you guys think you should run the floor with. Like, let's be real. You guys don't respect Tennessee. You don't.
No,
you don't.
No, I talk myself into it.
Nobody respects. Not nobody respects Tennessee. Even no Buckeyes fan expects Tennessee to go in there. They expect it to be a cakewalk, even though you expected Michigan to be a cakewalk. It's ridiculous.
Well, the other problem is, as a bougie Ohio State fan, this team is not dominant.
Will Howard isn't the 12th best quarterback in the country. We're talking about here 12 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, he made the playoffs. Sure, fine. But like, I think it's also different that this is not some, Troy Smith-led, Terrell Pryor. Like, those teams were so good, and they just dominated everybody. You don't have Justin Fields walking out there with the Bosa. I know you with the same different eras. I'm mixing eras here, but you know what I mean. The Bosa brothers and Zeke and Michael Thomas and all these electric guys. Yeah, you have Jeremiah Smith, and he's very good. Your defense is playing better. I think that's the other thing. they got shown the fear. You're talking about in boxing all the time, like Ronda Rousey when she got knocked the hell out by Holly Holm. She got shown the fear, and then you can never recover from that. I feel like Ohio State and our fans were shown the fear, and you got shown in that Michigan game that maybe this team isn't as good as you thought they were.
Ohio State fan.
And now you're sitting there qualifying it and wondering if you're going to get it done. Sucks.
Ohio State thinks they're better than everybody else.
Yeah, that's the problem too.
And then
We're
the
not.
second the shoe drops and they're put in an adverse situation, it's all crying, fire Ryan Day, who doesn't lose to any other team except Michigan in the regular season.
I know what you did. That's fine.
What? I didn't. If I did a pun there, it was unintentional.
Waiting for the shoe to drop.
Didn't even mean it like that. Good catch. Didn't even mean it.
Here you go.
These are two options: excited and nervous.
I can. Do you have another one? Apathetic. Don't care.
Which is insane, but some Ohio State fans would vote that because all they care about is beating Michigan.
That's fine. I'm still bothered by the Michigan loss. Put that in there. Still bothered by the Michigan loss. How you feeling for tomorrow night? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Or I'm still bothered by the Michigan loss? There it is. Post that up at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. Plenty to come up. We got to go around the league. We'll get our picks coming in as well. Friday report card. I do want to flip over to basketball just for a couple of minutes because I mentioned that Nick Wright thing about the NBA Cup. Bucks are in town tonight. We'll get a Cavs parlay a little bit later. But I thought LeBron had a really interesting statement about the state of the NBA. We'll get to that in just a second. You need to get to Fairway Ford tomorrow for Fill the Trunks for the Animal Charity of Ohio. 10 to 2 tomorrow out there in Canfield. Bring a gift if you can. Donate there to help out the Animal Charity of Ohio. Santa will be there. I know he's a busy time for him, but he'll be there. Get your pictures taken with him. Take the kids, take the pets, and you can peruse that lot and see all of the beautiful vehicles there at Fairway Ford. They got it all for you. The 300 F-150s. The Christmas sale still going on. Rates as low as 1.9% for the 60 months. If you need no payments for 90 months, get in that new ride. You don't even have to pay for it again until 2025. There you go. They work with you at Fairway Ford. What do you need? Do you want the money off straight up? Do you want to put a lower down payment down? Do you want the interest rate down? They do it all for you at Fairway Ford. And here's the other beauty of it. You can walk in there and let's say, leave it open. I'm looking for that new F-150. I'm looking for that new Edge. And they'll say, fantastic. What do you value? What are you looking for? Is there something specific on the vehicle? I'll just tell you how I am. If I were to walk into Fairway Ford and I walk in, I see Brian. Brian's the man. Say, hey, Brian, how you going? Looking for that new Explorer for the Fontana family. And so he'll look at me, he goes, what do you need? And I'm going to say, I'm more worried about what my payment is per month and my interest rate. Sure, I'd like the heated seats and I need 4-wheel drive and all that. What helps going to Fairway Ford? They have so many different vehicles. Even just when, again, you're looking for an F-150 or an Explorer. They'll say, okay, well, we have this model here that's got this, this, and this for this payment. We got this one over here, this, and this payment. And there's options. Going into a sales situation or something where you're going to spend a lot of money. It's for your family. You want options. They provide those for you in a multitude of ways. Go to fairwayfordohio.com. That is fairwayfordohio.com. You could check out all their inventory before you even head out there. They've got the chat feature. You're speaking to a live person about being able to take care of that vehicle. You can fill out some of your paperwork, your finance stuff. You can see it all on their website. But there's options. Options are good for you. That's what they do at Fairway Ford. They're willing to make deals as well. They have so much inventory, they're willing to move. They're willing to cut a deal. Sometimes it doesn't help them all the way. Just because it helps you. What do you need? They got you covered. Commercial vehicles, all the trucks, all the vehicles. Got it. Want that Mustang next year, Bronco? fairwayfordohio.com. The largest Ford truck dealership in the state of Ohio is our friends at Fairway Ford. fairwayfordohio.com. Tell them we sent you with our friends at Fairway Ford. All right, LeBron talking about the state of the NBA. And did we talk about it? I think we did. The ratings are down, and I gave a lot of different reasons why. I think it's hard to watch. It's hard to find. You have all these players sitting out. I think there's some people that just don't like the political stance sometimes with some of the players in the NBA. LeBron has another factor in this whole thing that I didn't think about. So yesterday, he was talking about the NBA All-Star Game, which is just a complete another train wreck. And he says, something has got to change. I was not part of the committee. It's different. We'll see. Obviously, sometimes you make a change, there's going to be some blowback. My ideas of what could possibly work, but I have my ideas, but he's not going to give them out. We got to do something. Last couple years have not been a great All-Star Game. Then he continues, this is LeBron. It's a bigger conversation about our game. It's a lot of effing threes being shot. So it's a bigger conversation than the All-Star game. And they have some stats here on CBS. The Celtics average 51 three-point attempts a game. And I understand that, and Brian Winters has talked about this too. You bring the ball up the court 6 times, right? Say you score 3 out of those 6 times. Okay, that's 6 points. Well, I only need to hit 2 threes on my 6 times up the court to equal the same output, right? The odds tell you you're better off taking threes. In today's NBA, what does everybody search for? Guys that can shoot. Is that a good brand of basketball? Seriously.
I don't buy that affects ratings.
I was going to ask. I'm like, do you think that LeBron is actually onto something with this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think the majority of the problem is, one, as you said, the players. It's the not playing. It's the lack of access to teams that aren't the Knicks, the Bucks, the Lakers, Golden State. It's quite frankly, and we talked about this on Full Court Cleveland. And yeah, nobody wants to watch the All-Star game because it's a joke. It's players jogging, putting up half-court shots, and 0 defense.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't alive to watch Bird and Magic and all those guys play in the All-Star game, but from what I hear, they actually tried. I mean, it's not even basketball. It's across every sport in terms of the Pro Bowl or whatever it is in the respective sports. Like, you watch the tackles. Now it's flag football, right? Like, it's not interesting at all. It's a facade. It's entertainment, which I get, but entertainment gets you so far, I think, but when you actually see real, like, authentic play, that's what gets you watching.
Yeah, and that's, again, there's elements of an entertaining game. You watch football.
Nobody hates each other anymore. That's the problem,
I don't want to say, yeah,
no, it is.
There really are no built rivalries.
No, it's all fabricated.
But like, are NBA games fun to sit down and watch? Like, I think that's what LeBron is getting at, that just watching these teams jack up all these threes, it's not fun to watch.
What's not fun to watch too is, and I don't know if this has a direct correlation or effect, but you see all these media outlets, ESPN and other big, Bleacher Report. I mean, it's all just tweets about I get it. It's the stars. They draw attention, but it's Jason Tatum, the Celtics every time.
Yeah.
Like, even for teams like Utah,
but I mean,
or like
it's the
teams
same
like
thing.
the Grizzlies.
They can't get enough of Patrick Mahomes. They can't get enough of Josh Allen. They can't get enough of some of the stars in the NFL. You got to have stars. That's the problem in baseball. They don't market them. They don't have them. I don't know. It made me think about that, of like, when I sit down to watch an NBA game that's not the Cavs, is it a good brand of basketball? And I think inherently your problem is, too, you just have such a divide between good and bad teams, where very rarely do you have 2 good teams. Maybe of the whole week of even nationally televised games, you only got a handful of games of 2 teams that are actually really good. I just know that whoever's playing the Wizards, they're going to kick the ever-living hell out of them.
You want to know how to. Here's a good idea. You want to know how to get ratings? How about this? You actually call the games like how it's supposed to be. If a player takes 3 steps, call it travel. I'll watch Jason Tatum. I'll watch LeBron. I'll watch James Harden start bitching left and right.
Yeah.
If they start calling actual calls that should be called.
Sure.
Instead of this BS flop, like they're going in the step throughs and you hear the whistle blow, it's not fun.
No, I get it. And that's, I just thought it was interesting that LeBron brought that up, is what he thinks is the problem with the NBA. Because also LeBron, being an older guy, he knows the era that was good. He's a prior generation guy. Like, he knows. That's why we're talking about them bitching about inside the NBA.
If he could shoot like Steph Curry, he wouldn't be opening his mouth talking about that.
And he's not shooting the 3 all that well. He's probably angry because, it's had to change in front of him, and it's not really his game anymore. It is so different. And yeah, you could do the perfect offense and run a play and you hit it 2, and some guy just walks down the court and luck box and splashes a 3. All right, you're down a point.
It's the access is the biggest thing, though. And you
think so? Like, not being able to catch
you hit the nail on the head. I can't even watch my team play half the time because I don't pay for Bally's, and I'm not going to pay for, FanDuel, but I'm not paying for it.
No, I get it. That's sure. I understand. Like, that's where it's hard of all the issues, and there's no quick fix on all of them. There's no way that you can easily quick fix all of these things. So I don't know. It's a hard go right now for the NBA, but I just thought LeBron saying, like, basically blaming threes is part of the reason.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'm kind of with you. I don't know if I quite buy that, but we'll have to see how it goes. All right, ready to go for Sunday. Let's go. Browns, Bengals. Let's learn the teams a little bit. Time for the Friday Report Card. Nice. Is that Macaulay Culkin?
No, it's Joe Burrow.
It is not Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it is.
Stop it.
That's Joe Burrow.
Go back. No,
Yes,
stop
it is. That's Joe Burrow.
It is not. It's Macaulay Culkin.
That's Joe Burrow.
No,
That's Joe Burrow.
I'm not. No way. It's
That's
not.
Joe Burrow.
Just tell me it's not.
It's Joe Burrow.
It's not. I'm searching. I'm going to search for Joe Burrow pictures right now.
All right.
Wait, Joe Burrow Hawaiian shirt. That's not it.
It's Joe Burrow.
It's not. It is not. That was Macaulay Culkin. All right, here we go. Is that really DTR's QBR?
Yes, it is.
I thought he was on like a 1-6 ratio, or is that just this season?
According to Google.
Okay, I think it's just this season. All right.
Oh, no. These are this season's
Yeah,
stats.
because I was going to say he's 1-6 in his career
this
for
is this
touchdowns.
season.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why you'd put career on there. It is this season. But, all right, here we are. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Joe Burrow. I'm not going to spend much time on this. What else do you have to know? 36-8, man.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow would be the MVP of the season if Josh Allen wasn't having the year that he's having right now, which is absolutely insane. The guy is incredible. Now, the thing is, the frustration on his part to sit there and say, what? I'm doing all this, I'm having an MVP level, and we're still probably going to miss the playoffs. Like, how frustrating that has to be for him, knowing that he can't play defense. And I know T. Higgins has been banged up. We'll run through the injury report here just in a second, but again, you can't look at other teams and say this is what we're going to follow, but it's like, even when you got the quarterback, you got to have the other players, you got to have that infrastructure in place.
Yeah, man.
They're a prime example. They have the quarterback. There's no question about it. They have him, and he's on an absolutely insane season, and they're still going to miss.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're cheap.
Well, is it that easy of just saying cheap?
Yeah.
Let DJ Reader walk, let Jesse Bates
Absolutely.
walk.
I think it simply is that.
Well, I think it's just a miss on drafting the next wave. There are good teams that let good players leave because they have to. All right, let's do this real quick. Bengals salary cap this season. If you had to guess from over the cap, how much cap space do you think the Bengals have? Because your idea is they're not paying anybody, right? That's what that is your narrative, right?
Is that they're not paying anybody?
Yeah, that's what you said. They don't pay anybody, right? They only have $6 million of cap space. So they are almost right up to the NFL cap. Now, the problem is, have they maybe not spent that money wisely, right?
Sure.
Joe Burrow.
Why are you playing games with Jamar Chase?
I think we'll pay it. I think. They're going to try to pay T. Higgins. Here's your problem. Orlando Brown Jr., $16.5 million. Trey Hendrickson, $20 million. Sheldon Rankins, $12 million. B.J. Hill, $10 million. Sam Hubbard, and I read a lot about this. Like, cap is going to get cut. They're going to cut Sam Hubbard. But, like, just the narrative, like, oh, they don't spend money. No, actually, they do. They don't have a lot of cap. Now, this is where the cap space is phony, gets different. The Browns have $44 million in cap space, but it's just because they restructured a lot of deals, so it looks prettier on paper when you're right. They're probably outspending the Browns because they got to cut a lot of checks. But I just think they missed on some guys.
Yeah.
They just missed on some guys, and they had to let good players leave. All teams have to do that, and yeah, they're just not covering their warts. But they got their quarterback. He's that good. They're just deficient in some other areas. But no question about it, for our Friday report card, did we very much go Joe Burrow on this? What else do we
I don't know.
get?
It's kind of close.
Could be close. Could be close. All right, we start here.
I didn't go over this with you.
He didn't, so I want to see what you did. Head coach is unequivocally yes, Kevin Stefanski. Zach Taylor going to get fired. They're going to fire Zach Taylor. They're going to do that. And I know you might think Vrabel. That seems like a perfect spot for an offensive-minded guy. Like, basically, you're going to try to run it back with a Zach Taylor 2.0, but just hope that Bobby Slowick or Ben Johnson isn't that guy, right?
I don't know. I'd almost rather have a guy like Vrabel and you just get the right coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that and see what Arthur Smith has done. I saw somebody give that idea that Arthur Smith just goes over to the Bengals. I don't know if he's quite, like, jumping right back into the saddle after a year in Pittsburgh, but you almost spit your
I would
coffee out.
shit my pants if Arthur Smith went to be a head coach there. I welcome that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did almost spit my coffee out.
You almost did. Always delicious. But, like, I hate to bring back Ryan Day, but it's the same thing. Can you do better? Yeah, probably. You could do worse, though. Could you do worse than Zach Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I do think he's going to be on his way out when they miss the playoffs, but we'll see. All right, wide receiver is unequivocally not even a question. The debate used to always rage about the best, trio, right? And somebody brought this up, or at least duo, right? Jamar and T, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. At a time, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Who else am I missing? Best wide receiver duos in the NFL.
I mean, stats this year won't necessarily tell you this, but Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua.
Yes, that's a very good one, too. Of all of those options, I still might think that Jamar and T are the best. I like Addison and Justin Jefferson a lot. Waddle's been hurt. Devontae Smith has been hurt and that kind of stuff. But they have two of the most electric wide receivers in football. And the thing is, so again, going back to the injury report, which we'll get through in a little bit, T. Higgins practiced limited on Wednesday, did not practice yesterday. He's still battling that knee injury. And the push, if you will, of getting them out there for a game that, you still have a hope that they're going to play and make the playoffs, but deep down they probably won't. So how much do you want to push T. Higgins in a year that you might have to pay him to get out there on a bum knee and play? I don't know. I don't know. Outside of that, for the Bengals, obviously the tight end position, they got Gesicki, they got Sample, they got some other guys there. Browns, David Njoku gonna play?
Is he?
I think so.
Is Ced's still out?
Cedric Tillman is limited, but he's still in concussion protocol. David Njoku has not practiced the past 2 days. So I guess maybe not. But there is obviously no debate on this. It's Jamar, it's T. Just looking, Gesicki, Iavashi, whatever his name is.
Yoshivas. I just thought about this, though. Who would you, I think the answer is Jamar Chase, certainly. Offensive Player of the Year. Because
I still think it's Saquon Barkley.
See, that's what I was going to say, because it's interesting, right? Because obviously neither are going to win MVP. It'll be Josh Allen, but
right.
It's kind of insane to think about neither one of those two. I think it's hands down one of those two will be Offensive Player of the Year, and it's just interesting that one of those two might walk away without a single award.
I mean, the gaudy thing about Jamar Chase is he has 15 touchdowns this year. 15.
Yeah. I think
on 14 on
I think they'll give it to Jamar.
I mean,
dude, how much does it dictate how well your team is?
Well, and that's the problem right now is Saquon's nursing a little bit of an injury. He's not been quite the same.
Up for the
but
one
his
seed.
Team is really, 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 really good. I think it's just a difference that you might actually give it to a running back.
CMC won it last year.
Oh, that's right, he did. And Derrick Henry was running away with it earlier in the season. So, is there a little bias there? What's she done for me recently? Jamar's having a fantastic year. He's got 15 touchdowns in 14 games. I mean, he is that damn good. No question here, it is the running backs. Or, the wide receivers. To the running backs, why can't we find a Chase Brown, man? Why can't we find a guy like that?
Why can't we find a quarterback?
I am a big fan of Chase Brown.
Yeah,
not only in the run game, but he's in the receiving game. Because remember, they didn't know what they were going to do. So you let Joe Mixon walk. And they go, all right, we're going to go all in on Zach Moss. And then they traded for Khalil Herbert. Wasn't there somebody else there, too?
Did they trade for Khalil Herbert?
They traded for Khalil Herbert, at the trade deadline.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But, to start the season, it was Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm. I think it was always him and Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. Maybe I'm thinking of P. Ryan, who they let go.
Mm-hmm.
But Chase Brown has been electric.
Yeah,
832 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 60 yards a game, 4.5 a carry. Big fan there. Again, it'd be a lot different if it was Nick Chubb healthy. It's just not. But Jerome Ford, Chase Brown, let's not even get debated here. This is 100% Chase Brown.
Yep, no argument there.
And it's also kind of interesting to see about their discrepancy, I should say, about when they can run and not, because they gash you. They get you in that pass defense, and then they just gash you with some of these runs, and you see how it goes. Offensive line, I think rightly so, Ryan. You gave it over to the Cleveland Browns on this one. The thing is, what the Bengals have always tried to do is what? Spend a lot of money for a bunch of big-name guys that are either hurt or not producing. So right now, you're not going to most likely, you're not going to have Orlando Brown. Fibula, missed the last 2 days. Kappa, concussion, he'll be back. And Cody Ford was sick, but he'll be fine. I run across the offensive line. Cody Ford is the starting left tackle. 68th in the NFL. Volson, Karras, Kappa, and Mims. Not a single one of these guys is grading above a 60 on PFF right now. Sacks allowed for Joe Burrow. We talk about Burrow, who obviously can move the pocket extremely well and get around and that kind of stuff. But I think he masks a lot of issues for this team. Ryan, he's been sacked 33 times this year.
Yep.
And they've been a little better in some games. But Pittsburgh, TJ Watt got after him for 4. Now, granted, he was throwing all over the field, and that was a high-scoring game. But just in their last 5 games, 3, 4, 2, and 1 sacks in each of those games. Browns should be able to get after him at least twice. Again, the run game, I think, has helped because Chase Brown is so elusive and he gets into space. This offensive line is pretty bad.
Yep, it's been the story of Joe Burrow's career.
Really not good for some of these guys on the offensive line, which, again, they spent money and it's just not there.
I would imagine he's the most sacked quarterback since 2020.
Most sacked quarterback since 2020.
I believe that's when he was drafted, correct?
Correct. Wow. It is not Joe Burrow. He is second with 124. Since 2020, this guy has been sacked 200 times. That's 80 times, almost 80 times more than Joe Burrow in second. Any guess?
Russell?
Yes. Russell Wilson. So, yeah, that's been the issue, and it's kind of funny that they worked so hard to get that done, and then they just don't. All right, they worked so hard on this defense, which is just abysmal for the Cincinnati Bengals. They come in 28th in the NFL. They give up 366 yards a game total. They are the 27th ranked pass defense, giving up 239. Their rush defense is 20th at $127. The problem is they got Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Jerome Ford facing them this week, so they're going to look like the fucking 85 Bears out there. That defense is god-awful bad. The only one that is anything to write home about is literally Trey Hendrickson, and I rip him because I just don't think he's all that good, right? Hubbard's been battling injuries. They let DJ Reader go on that D-line, which they're just going to miss so much. Their linebackers are trash. Cam Taylor-Britt's not good as their corner. Josh Newton's their other one. Their secondary, really bad. Lou Anarumo. If not Zach Taylor getting fired, then he's got to fire Lou Anarumo. I don't know how, which is crazy because people were throwing bouquets at that guy when they were in the playoffs a couple of years ago.
I mean, it's just like Jim
It's
Schwartz, man.
It's a talent thing.
Look at Jim Schwartz. We were throwing flowers at him.
I wonder a lot about that.
I mean, it makes you wonder why nobody interviewed him for a head coach job, you know? Like, what did they know that he didn't?
I get it. Maybe he just didn't want it. But, this offseason of whatever the Browns do with Stefanski and Barry, I don't want to have that conversation right now. Pains me to say, Bubba Ventrone, done. There's no way that stays. Do you think about Jim Schwartz? Do you think about, we got to shake this up a little bit? You've had a lot of injuries on that side of the football. Maybe it's time to make that move. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this to you. There is only one person that you need to worry. I'll give you 2. BJ Hill might be the other one, their D tackle. You need to worry about Trey Hendrickson and maybe BJ Hill, and that is it. Yep, that's it. So the Browns defense on the other side of it, when they show up, when they're healthy, it's all that kind of stuff. So we gave the edge there to the Browns. Obviously, it is an 8.5-point spread, rightly so, on the side of the Bengals. All right, injury report. Miles popped up with a back injury yesterday, but might not play. Or he should be go. Shelby Harris looks like no. 2 straight DNPs. 2 straight DNPs for David Njoku. Martin Emerson limited yesterday coming through his concussion, so it sounds like maybe he'll be back. That's it. On the other side for the Bengals, you're not going to have Orlando Brown. It seems like he's been battling that leg injury. He didn't practice this week. Sam Hubbard didn't practice either this week yet. Jenkins, their other D tackle, has been sick. He didn't practice. Sheldon Rankins has been sick. They got an illness going through there on Cincinnati. But overall, both these teams semi-healthy. I think the Browns just a little bit more healthy on some things there, all considered. Biggest one for me is Njoku. Are you going to be able to get him back for this game? He's got the hamstring. And how much do you want to push these guys? How much do you really want to push these guys to get out there for, let's call it for what is a meaningless game? It comes back to the debate of sitting these guys or not. And that's a conversation I was willing to have. At this point, all right, you want to go out there, you want to play, great, that's awesome. But Miles with his back injury, man, I don't want to think about how ugly that would get if you didn't have Myles Garrett out there Sunday. Like, what if this back, backs can be a finicky thing too. Like, what if there truly is something that isn't good for that.
I think there's
needs
zero reason for him to play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really kind of agree with you. But we'll find out on Sunday. All right, you ready to do it? Let's get our picks. Let's go around the league. Week 16?
Yes.
Let's go. All right, we start with a dub last night. I took the Chargers. I gave Ryan the Chargers because that's what Pat picked too, so we get it done there. All right, last week mentioned it. Solid week for us. 9-6-1 each for the two of us. All right. Overall season standings. I am 117, 101, and 6. Ryan is 105.
Yikes.
113 and 6. So the battle to get above 500 is attainable, right? Solid week here for you. You never know where we go. All right, we start Saturday, 1 o'clock. It is the Houston Texans traveling to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs a 3.5-point home favorite. All questions here, I think, still surround Patrick Mahomes. He's got the ankle injury, suffered it against the Browns. He says he's going to play. They believe he's going to play. Ryan, you get rolled up one time, and he's going to be back out of that game, so we'll see. If he doesn't, this line is going to flip, all right? And we've done this before where it's hard, where obviously if he doesn't play, there's in no world that we would take the Houston Texans. Or I'm sorry, there's no world we take the Chiefs, we would take the Texans. But we got to place our bets for what it is in this exact moment. So let's run through it here, all right? Houston 12-6 straight up in their last 18 games, but they're only 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games in Kansas City. But Houston 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games and played on a Saturday. Kansas City, in their last 8 games, their only cover is against us. They are 19-1 straight up in their last 20 games. They're on a 10-game home win streak, but they don't cover. Kansas City is just 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games when they play as the favorite, but they are 4-2 against the spread their last 6 Saturday games. 3.5, Kansas City. I'll take Houston.
I'm going Kansas City because if I'm not mistaken, so Kansas City right now, 13-1. Bills are 11-3, so the Bills could finish 14-3. And if Kansas City also drops 2 games and finishes 14-3, Bills would be the number 1 seed.
Right, the number 1 seed is very much alive. But
I think Kansas City, I
they
think
win 1 game, they got it.
I think they need to win 2.
I think they just need 1 because then they get. I think. Oh no, because Buffalo beat them. That's right.
I mean, that's all hinging on if Buffalo can win out. But
right.
I mean, I think Kansas City knows that they need that home field throughout the playoffs more than they ever have.
Yeah.
So I think they're really trying to win this.
Yeah.
So I will take the Chiefs.
All right, Saturday afternoon, we got an AFC North battle between the Steelers and the Ravens. All eyes on this one for TJ Watt. George Pickens already ruled out again for Pittsburgh. And I was so ready to slam Pittsburgh on this one. Lamar Jackson is 1-4 straight up and 0-5 against the spread in his career against Mike Tomlin. I was ready to take the Steelers all day. This is crazy for me to say, but I think this. The George Pickens loss might be worse than TJ Watt for that offense because they just are not the same when Pickens isn't out there. It is a big number. It is 6.5. And by the way, the Steelers have not closed as a 6-point underdog or higher against the Ravens since 2012. It's been 12 years since the Steelers have been 6 points or more. As an underdog of 4 points or more versus the Ravens, the Steelers are 8-0 in franchise history, and Mike Tomlin is 6-0 against the spread in his career when he's a dog of more than 3 points to the Baltimore Ravens. So that tells you, obviously, again, it all leans towards Pittsburgh, but I just don't know if I can buy this. Underdogs in the AFC North division have been a cash cow. Since 2018, in division games, the dog covers at a 61% rate. So that's an easy one. Again, everything's pointing Pittsburgh. Here's another one for you. The Ravens have not covered a spread against anybody 6.5 or greater since 2019. So again, anytime that they've been favored by 6.5 or more, or no, wait. Oh, wait. That's not right. I'm sorry. The Ravens haven't beat Pittsburgh by more than a touchdown since 2019. That's the whole thing. They've not covered a 6.5 number against the Steelers. I was going to say they've waxed some teams. No. They've not beat the Steelers by a touchdown or more since 2019. So it's a big number. Can they get it done? We'll have to see. Pittsburgh 7-2 against the spread and straight up in their last 9. They own Baltimore. Pittsburgh 6-1 against the spread. Their last 7 against the Ravens. 8-1 straight up in their last 9. Pittsburgh 6-1 against the spread. Their last 7 games when at M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore 9-3 straight up in their last 12. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games at home. Baltimore 6.5. I'm going to buck those trends. I'm going to say Pittsburgh's not the same. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win, especially if TJ Watt's out. We already know Pickens is out. But Lamar sucks against the Steelers, and 6.5 is a lot. If Justin Tucker misses a field goal here or there,
I don't think there's a bad pick in this.
I'll go Steelers.
You're going to go Steelers?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
To Sunday's action we go. NFC North, it is the Lions with a short trip to take on the Bears. The Lions, a 6.5 points road favorite in this one. Now,
that's it.
6.5. I'm really concerned about Detroit's mental state right now, okay? You lose that shootout to Josh Allen. The whole week's conversation is they had to put Akeem O'Neal on IR. Now David Montgomery is going to opt for rehab on the hope that he comes back from the playoffs. I just wonder if all these injuries are eventually going to catch up to Detroit, and that's eventually going to start to bleed onto the field, is it not?
You'd think.
You would think. But they still have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs. They still have Jared Goff. That's the hard thing. For the Bears, they're just broken right now. They're trying to piece things together. 6.5 is a big number here. Caleb Williams is one of 3 quarterbacks to go 0-4 or worse against their own division this year. He joins Daniel Jones and Gardner Minshew as the 2 quarterbacks have not beaten their division or 0-4 or worse as what it goes. Caleb Williams, though, 8 straight games now without an interception. That is since the merger, the longest consecutive streak of 8 straight without an INT. Now, the Lions coming back off a loss has been very good for them. They have won and covered their last 9 straight games dating back to November of 2022 following a loss. So again, after a loss, 9 straight wins and covers. With the Lions, Jared Goff is 18-8 against the spread after a loss, including 7-2 against the spread against NFC North opponents coming off of a loss right there. Bears are 0-6 this season against a team with a winning percentage above 500. So we'll see. Detroit 14-6 against the spread their last 20, 4-1 straight up in their last 5 against Chicago. Detroit is on a 6-game winning streak, but they're only 2-4 against the spread. Their last 6 games were on the road against Chicago. For the Bears, we know 8-game losing streak, but they've covered 8 of their last 10 games at home. I know you hate when I do this.
Is this your stinky backdoor cover?
Stinky backdoor might be on here, Ryan.
Not a shot. I would take the Lions all day.
I need to go with my gut.
Just take the Bears.
All right, I'll take the Bears.
You want to?
All right, I'll take the Bears. Take the Bears for the back door. That's how it goes. All right, Cardinals in a must-win game as they're taking on the Panthers. Long trip over there to the East Coast. 7-7 for the Cardinals. They're trying to hang on. We'll see how it goes. Against teams not named the Seattle Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals are 5-1 in their last 6 games and have covered all 6 of those. Now, again, the problem is they've played some subpar teams mixed in there, but they just can't beat the Seahawks in this one, in this stretch of games right here. Coming in, Panthers broke their 5-game against the spread winning streak last week, losing as the favorite. Carolina has lost 10 consecutive games against the spread as a favorite dating back to 2021. The Cardinals, though, are a 4.5-point road favorite here. Kyler Murray, under is the play for him on the road. 25-12-1 to the under when he plays on the road, so take that for what it is. They keep bringing up Kyler Murray late in the season, which isn't good. Let's see what else we got here. Arizona just 1-6 against the spread and straight up in their last 7 games against the Panthers. Big historical stat there. Arizona on the road, though, just 4-14 straight up in their last 18 games, but they're 6-2 against the spread their last 8. Carolina 5-1 against the spread their last 6, 3-14 straight up in their last 17. And again, they kind of own Arizona at home. I'll let you go first. Cards 4.5 points on the road.
Oh, man. Crazy enough, Cardinals can still win the division. Carolina, I mean, do they really want to win? I understand you want to see Bryce Young play well, of course.
I'm going Arizona. They need to win. I think it's a bigger game for them. I'm going to take Arizona.
I just don't feel good.
No. This is one of the bad picks of the week for sure.
All right, give me the Cardinals. Trey McBride finally finds the end zone.
All right, there you go. All right, an interesting matchup here with the Eagles taking on the Commanders. Eagles a 3.5-point favorite here on the road as they're taking on the Commanders. Now, the Commanders are in this interesting spot where lit the world on fire. I really think they've come back down to earth. Just look at Washington over the last couple of games. 2 straight wins, but over New Orleans and Tennessee. That ended a 3-game losing streak against Dallas, Pittsburgh, and the Philadelphia Eagles, which they lost 26-18. For Philly, they've been cooking and beating good teams, including Baltimore and Pittsburgh, over the last couple of weeks. Philly comes in 5-1 against the spread their last 6. They are 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games against Washington. For the Commanders, they are just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games. 9-4 straight up in their last 13, though 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games at home for Washington. Hurts in his career is just 26, 24-1 against the spread as a favorite. But when facing a team above 500 and he is the favorite, he's 14-6 against the spread. So he covers against good teams. Eagles defense, as we know, one of the best in the NFL, putting up some just extremely gaudy numbers for them right now. Jaden Daniels, though, against good teams, when he is playing a team above 500, 1-3 straight up, 1-2-1 against the spread. I'm taking the Eagles minus the 3.5 here for sure.
I just remember last year, I know that makes no sense, it has no bearing on this, but I picked the Eagles to blow out the Commanders as they should have. It was in FedEx Field. Is that still what it's called?
No, it's they got
that's right. They stripped that. Didn't they strip it because of Dan Snyder?
Yeah.
And the Eagle, I think the Commanders either won that game or made it really close. But yeah, I mean, the
Northwest Stadium.
The Commanders haven't beat a good team all year, I don't think. Really.
What is that stadium northwest of? It's literally called Northwest Stadium. It's northwest of the Atlantic Ocean.
Is Northwest a company?
It has to be. I'm assuming it is.
I will take it's 3.5.
3.5. Eagles.
I'll take the Eagles. Is Saquon playing?
I think so, yeah.
I'll take
for my fantasy team's sake, I hope so.
Eagles, I mean, they're looking in on the 1 seed now, too.
I know.
I'll take the Eagles.
All right, Falcons with Michael Penix getting the start. He's got a nice, easy one as they welcome in the New York Giants. This is a home game. It's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but it's 8.5.
That's a lot for a rookie.
It's a lot for a rookie quarterback to get in
his first start.
The thing is, all right, so this is where it is. The line got up to 10, but then moved to 8.5 when Penix got announced as the starter. Over the last 40 years, no rookie quarterback in week 10 or later has had his first career start as a favorite of 7 or more. So again, to start this late in the season, your first career start, and you're favored by more than 7, that has never happened in the NFL.
I mean, that doesn't shock me at all.
The 2 closest were Lamar Jackson in 2018 and Jim Everett in 1986. They closed as 6.5-point favorites. So this is uncharted waters for Penix. Now, the thing is, the Giants suck ass. So,
I mean, have we ever seen a team this late in the season, 500 or better, switch to a rookie quarterback? Not because of injury?
Yeah, I don't. That's a great question. I mean, they flipped to Lamar in 2018, but was Flacco hurt?
Right,
I think
I don't
he
know.
got hurt.
And
Penix making.
did they have a winning record? I don't remember.
I think they did. I think they made the playoffs that year.
Did they?
Over the last decade, quarterbacks in their first start of their rookie year are just 21, 43, and 1 straight up. Caleb Williams was the only one to win his first start in week 1 of this season. He becomes just the 21st quarterback to start in week 16 or later in his rookie year. Those quarterbacks are just 5 and 15 straight up and 2 and 5 straight up at home. But again, I think it's more about their team sucks. Maybe somebody got hurt. You throw them in. I think they're going to be re-energized by this. I do. I just don't like it at 8. I hate it at 8. I'd like it at 5, but I don't have it. I'm gonna take Atlanta.
I mean,
I think that's not smart, but I'm gonna take Atlanta. I can't trust Tommy.
I'm hyped for Penix, so I'll take Atlanta as well.
I'll take Atlanta. All right, Titans taking on the Colts here. Colts at just 6-8 with a very outside shot to get this done, but we got to see. And of course, at 3-11 for the Titans, they're getting ready to go for the draft. I've got this at 3.5. We'll jump into it, but I'm taking Indy all day in this one. They're going back to Mason Rudolph in Tennessee. Will Levis is about done there. I think everybody's just ready for the offseason. Colts trying to fight through to see where you got. I think Anthony Richardson has quietly started to turn some things around, but Indy is just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, just 2-5 straight up in their last 7, and they don't play Tennessee all that well. Indy is just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games at home against Tennessee, but Indy is 9-1 straight up in their last 10 games when they're favored. All right, tough game again against Denver. They did beat New England, got beat by Detroit. I don't think Indy is a good team at all. I don't. But I just think the Titans are much worse. Go ahead and give me the Colts in this one, minus at 3.5.
Yeah, I just can't take the Titans in any fashion.
No, we'll take Indy on that one as well. All right, the Rams, a 3-point favorite, is the long trip from LA to New York to take on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers back in the news again. I'm shocked that this line is only 3 on the road for the Rams here. New York is in tank mode. We know that. It's not going to be a good situation there. And again, the Rams still fighting to potentially win that division there. Rams 4-1 straight up and against the spread their last 5 games. They also own the Jets. Rams are 8-3 straight up and against the spread their last 11 games against New York. LA very good on the road, 8-4 against the spread their last 12 games on the road. Jets just 3-8 against the spread their last 11 games, 2-9 straight up in their last 11. They've only covered 1 of their last 5 home games as well. Stafford since week 11, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Rams are 4-1 straight up and against the spread in that time. 9th in EPA per play, 9th in success rate since week 11 for Matt Stafford. Aaron Rodgers has never not covered against the Rams. In 8 games against the Rams, he's covered in every one. That trend ends here, and give me the Rams.
Yes, I will absolutely take the Rams.
There it is. All right, interesting matchup out west with the Vikings taking on the Seahawks. Now, we have discussed a lot on this show about Geno Smith playing at home, and it ain't so good. Vikings 12-2 on the hunt there for the number 1 seed, and then for the Seahawks trying to fight to make it here. Seattle comes in with that loss to Green Bay, which ended their 4-game win streak. Minnesota on themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-game win streak. This one seems a little stinky for me, too. Kenneth Walker should be back for this game. Minnesota is just 1-7 straight up in their last 8 games against Seattle, but Minnesota's won 5 out of their last 6 games on the road. Seattle 4-1 straight up and against the spread their last 5, but again, they beat up on the Cardinals. And again, that home trend, Seattle's just 1-4 straight up. 1-4 against the spread their last 6 games at home. Short rest challenge for the Vikings coming off Monday Night Football. For the Vikings. And they travel to Seattle. I'm sorry, I was all screwed up with the Rams for a second. Short rest for Minnesota, and now they travel. On short rest, Sam Darnold in his career, just 2-7 straight up, 2-6-1 against the spread. Playing on Monday Night Football, then to have hit the road has been historically a tough spot for teams. In this situation this season, though, you play on Monday night, then you travel the next game. Teams are 12-5 straight up and against the spread this season. Geno Smith should play. But again, battling injury there. Dude, at home this season, 3-5 straight up, 2-6 against the spread. He's got 8 touchdowns to 11 interceptions at home. He's got 6-2 on the road. His passer rating is a full 12 points less at home. It's got to be the Vikings, right?
I will be taking the Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings.
Charleston, I want to know how much money someone would have won this year fading every Fontana stinky backdoor cover this year.
We should have marked all the stinky ones and known what it was. I feel like I hit them from time to time, but it's just a vibe. I don't know what to tell you. This game is absolutely atrocious. The Patriots taking on the Bills. Bills are a 14-point favorite at home against the New England Patriots. The Patriots' offensive line is terrible. Buffalo should be able to pressure Drake May. It's tough to imagine the Patriots getting this done. Patriots have lost 5 games this year by more than 14 points. The Bills have won 5 games this year by more than 14 points. You had a big cover with Baltimore last week on that gaudy number. I'm going to do it again. Give me Buffalo to cover this one. 14.
Yeah, Buffalo might put up 40 again. I mean, this is going to be the game Josh Allen cements the MVP.
I think they get him out of that game. I think you go in there, you tell him, dude, take care of business. We'll get you on out of here. New England just 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games against Buffalo. They've only covered 2 of their last 6 games against the Bills. New England is just 1-6 straight up on their last 7 games on the road. Buffalo 4-1 against the spread their last 5, 8-1 straight up in their last 9. They're on a 6-game win home streak here. Gerard Mayo get fired? They got to play for his job?
I don't know. I mean, how quick is Kraft going to pull that?
I don't know. I think if you're thinking about it, you probably just do it, and I would imagine that they're thinking about it here. All right, San Francisco taking on Miami. This is a pick'em game. Miami is technically a 1-point favorite in this one. So go ahead and have a pick'em here on this one. 49ers are coming in with extra rest after that Thursday Night Football, and the Dolphins just lost, basically axing their playoff hopes here. They're split on OddsShark. Tony Farmer likes 49ers plus 2.5 to bet up to that. Nick Holtz likes the Dolphins minus 1.5. Dolphins have won 4 out of their last 6 and have rounded into form on offense. 49ers have lost 4 of 5 and look completely lost offensively. Now they're not going to have Isaac Guerrero for that game either.
That's 4 running
which
backs.
is crazy. It is a long trip. It is in Miami. San Francisco's only covered 1 of their last 6 games, 1-4 straight up in their last 5. Miami, 4-2 straight up in their last 6. Tells you to take the over, by the way. 4-1 straight up in their last 5. Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'll take the Dolphins. I don't feel great about it, though.
We'll differ then. I'll take San Francisco for the sake of the show. For Ryan trying to chase me down, we'll see how it goes. All right, Sunday Night Football must win here for Tampa Bay. They're in Dallas, AT&T. It is Tampa Bay, a 4-point road favorite in this one. Cooper Rush has actually been doing some pretty nice things here. Tampa Bay, though, fighting for the playoffs, fighting for the division, and they're facing a Dallas team that is 1-6 at home this year. I know they're running it better with Rico Dowdell and crew, but I just think that Baker is on a seek and destroy mission right now. Tampa is 5-1 against the spread their last 6, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. They don't play Dallas all that well historically, just 3-8 straight up in their last 11 games against Dallas. For the Cowboys, 4-9 against the spread their last 13 games, but again, just 1-8 straight up in their last 9 games at home. Wait a minute. Did I miss the Raiders game? I did. Wait, add that to the bottom. I knew, because that's the game I was talking about. Jacksonville's playing the Raiders, and that's the game that matters a lot for the number 1 overall pick.
What a game that is.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Desmond Ridder, Mac Jones. Get ready for that one. All right, I knew I was missing a game. I didn't see how it goes. Buccaneers have had 7 touchdowns on their opening drive this season. That is the most in the NFL. So also a nice little bet here. Might be taking the first quarter spread there for Tampa Bay. We've talked a lot about Baker Mayfield's career, how much better he has. Cooper Rush playing the majority of 7 games this season. Dallas is 3-4 straight up in those games, but he's 0-2 when Rush gets sacked 2 or more times in that game, so watch that. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. I don't think it's even a question.
I will be taking Tampa Bay as well, Matt. Would you understand what I said if this game is the deja vu game for Eminem? I will be blasting the song Deja Vu all week in honor of this game.
Don't know the song.
You don't know the song?
No, I don't know the song, so I might not be of help here.
It's okay.
Why?
In the song Deja Vu, he says, "Come over, let's watch the game. It's the Cowboys and Buccaneers."
Oh.
That's my goat.
That's okay. All right. I did not get that reference, but here we go. All right, the game we missed, it is the Raiders, a 1.5-point home favorite against the Jags. I'm actually going to go Jacksonville in this one. They got to start Spencer Rattler. I don't think Mac Jones is that much better, but I'll take it. They already lost McCormick. Their running back, Ryan Thomas, is still doing pretty well there for Jacksonville. So I'm going to take the Jags plus the 1.5 here.
Yeah, that's gross.
Dude, really bad. I mean, it's
that's
terrible.
Really
game.
gross. I'll take the Raiders just because I don't want to bet on Mac Jones.
That's fine. Ritter had to be the leading rusher for the Raiders last week with 28 yards. So that's probably not very good for them to do. Jacksonville just 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games, but they've owned Vegas 6-3 straight up, 7-2 against the spread. Their last 9 games talking about Jacksonville, but they're just 1-9 on the road. 2 horrible teams, but we'll take Jacksonville. Ryan's got the Raiders. All right, do you want me to run through your picks to make sure that you got them all?
Yeah.
So that way, because I know we've had some issues with that way. All right. Kansas City Texans, KC a 3.5-point favorite. I go Houston, you went Kansas City. Baltimore, 6.5-point favorite over Pittsburgh. I take Baltimore. Ryan's got Pittsburgh. We differ again. Lions, 6.5-point favorites over the Bears. I don't know why I took Chicago, but I will. Ryan takes Detroit. We both agree for the Cards, minus 4.5 over the Panthers. We both like the Eagles, minus 3.5 over the Commies. We both like Atlanta, 8.5 over the Giants. We like Indy, minus 3.5 over the Titans. We like the Rams, 3 over the Jets. We both like Minnesota, 3 over Seattle. We like Buffalo's big number of 14 over the Patriots. We'll differ. I like San Francisco in a pick'em. Ryan likes Miami. Well, technically Miami is a 1-point favorite, so if they do tie, then I would cover.
Yes.
Okay. We both like Tampa Bay minus 4 against Dallas. We'll split. I like Jacksonville plus 1.5 over the Raiders. Ryan likes the Raiders. Done and done. All right, let's catch a break. Morning update. More to get to. A little baseball to sprinkle in. We'll get back to Ohio State for tomorrow night. Bracket, grid, time up. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network. Download the free app today to watch all of your favorite hosts on demand.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky
What an embarrassment. A catastrophic embarrassment for Buckeye Nation. Ohio State was a 21-point favorite. And I heard that the line went up as much as 23.5 points in Vegas at kickoff. Can you imagine if you took Michigan with all those points? You're probably drunk after the first quarter. Get this. That is the biggest point spread in the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State since 1978.
Welcome back. Talking life over here with young Ryan. You're a youngster. You got your whole life ahead of you, man. 23.
Oh, it doesn't seem like it.
You got it. It's all good. We got everything in front of us. I want to get to the grid. I can't wait. I want to do the morning update. Ryan's got the stories. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. You can follow us on Instagram. We're also up on Twitch. What am I forgetting? YouTube at Big Play. Check us out there. Got it there for it. Ryan's got the stories, though. Please take it away, young Ryan.
Alrighty, well, the Cavs are finally back in action tonight as they welcome back the NBA Cup champion Milwaukee Bucks into Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tip-off 7:30. Cleveland opens this one as a 9.5-point favorite for the Cavs. Max Strus game time decision, as well as Luke Travers. Isaac Okoro is out. Gonna be out for a couple weeks.
That sucks. I think obviously he was an important piece to what this team is. But it works now that you get Strus coming back. 9. I don't like it. I don't. Odd sharp. Milwaukee +9. They are 2-1 straight up this season without Damian Lillard available. Is he out for this game?
I don't know. It is kind of a big spread.
Yeah. 224. Yeah, they don't have Damian Lillard. He's out for this game. Okay. So they like the under tonight. It'll be an emotional downswing for the Bucks after such a fulfilling accomplishment of winning the NBA Cup and not having Lillard, who averaged 38.5 points across 2 meetings between the Cavs earlier this year. All right. Milwaukee's 10-2 in their last 12. They've only beat us once in the last 5 games against the Cavs. Milwaukee's trash on the road, too. They're only 4-13 straight up in their last 17 games on the road. Milwaukee 1-6 in their last 7 games at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Cavs 6-1 in their last 7, 10-4 against the spread their last 14. The over has hit 4 out of their last 5 games. They're 14-1 straight up in their last 15 games at home. I like the Cavs to win tonight. I don't know about the cover. And I might stay away from that over-under at 224. I think it's a good number for it, but, for the Cavs, it's just these long layoffs, which, again, I think actually helps them because that Nets game, I was so worried about this long layoff. Granted, the Nets are in a much different situation than the Bucks, but, they came out and they started a little slow, found their footing, and they got after it. I don't think there's any way that the Cavs don't win this basketball game tonight, right? I don't think there's any way they don't win this game tonight. So with all that in mind, maybe just take alt at 4.5.
Yeah, I like that way.
I like 4.5. They really like Jared Allen double-double tonight. He's failed to get a double-double in 2 out of his last 3 games, but he's already put stout numbers up against the Bucks in 2 games, averaging 14.5 points and 13.5 rebounds. And he also went a perfect 4 of 4 last season, notching a double-double in every game that he played against the Bucks a year ago. I'm running to bet that right now. Let's do this. You ready for this? You want to do the parlay at the end?
Sure.
Do it at the end. Remind me of that, though. I like Jared Allen. Maybe I like the Cavs minus that 4.5. We'll see what odds we can get on that.
Alrighty, well, last night in the Chargers-Broncos game, history was made in the NFL. Cameron Dicker, kicker for the Chargers, made the longest fair catch free kick in the NFL history after he drilled a 57-yarder to head into halftime. The longest previous fair catch free kick was a 52-yarder by Paul Hornung of the Green Bay Packers in 1962, Matt.
So, of course, it was Harbaugh. Does Harbaugh not seem... I'm not saying that other coaches don't know about it, although Lima had a great tweet this morning. He goes, everybody's practicing that week. It's a great idea and rule with all of these young, spry-legged kickers that are acing it from 60. Do it. Call it. But it's like Harbaugh, who I think is just a real, football nerd. I say that in I guess, a glowing term. To think about it and do it. Now the rest of the team is like, oh, that is a good idea. I kind of like it. When you got these kickers, you got no rush to worry about, and you can take your extra steps. Why is this not happening more? And I get it that there's certain times and places that you can only do it, but it's I think it's a great idea. I would think it was awesome to see. And he made it with some room to spare, which is crazy.
The last fair catch kick attempt was back in 2019 when Carolina's Joey Slye tried it against the Buccaneers. He missed the 60-yard attempt. Now, Matt, this is actually not the first time that Jim Harbaugh has had his team attempt that kick. In 2013, he tried it. He had what kicker attempt a 71-yard field goal?
Wait, read it again for me. Okay.
Jim Harbaugh, this is the quote. This isn't the first time Harbaugh has had his team attempt such a kick. In 2013, as coach of the 49ers, he had blank try a 71-yard fair catch kick, but he missed.
Robbie Gould?
No. I'm only asking
Phil
you this
Dawson.
because it is
It's
one.
Phil Dawson.
Phil Dawson.
That is Phil Dawson. That's why you would ask that question. So, again, you got to remember, too, you got to catch it, fair catch doer. So that's why it's not, you got to pin them back and all that. It's a great idea, though. It's a great idea, and it was really fun to see. We didn't really talk about it going around the league. What'd you take of that game last night? I thought Denver choked that bad.
I went to bed at halftime, and I thought for sure.
I stayed up. My buddy and I went to the simulator. We were golfing yesterday. And but you want to, so here's the crazy thing, right? Old dad, this is what I do with my friends now. We went to the golf simulator for an hour, then we went to Applebee's for a beer after. I had to watch the whole thing on my phone because it was on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know the rules about putting it on the TV or not, but literally, Jordan and I are sitting there with my phone propped up on our table while we're golfing, watching the game. But it was a little fluky. I actually was pretty impressed with Bo Nix. And I just think that, come crunch time, the Chargers got it done. But how quick, man, Harbaugh's got that thing turned around. It's easier because he's got a franchise quarterback, and I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. That's a fun game to watch, though. I really think just Denver choked it away, but they'll make the playoffs good for them. Do you think the Chargers are 1 year away?
I said that before last game, remember? That's what I was saying.
You think they're one? But I'm saying, even now where they're sitting, imagine how good they're going to be next year.
Right.
I think they're going to be really good next year. I don't know their cap situation, but if they can go ahead and get somebody in there, get a couple pieces in there, I think they might really be cooking with something there.
Alrighty, well, fortunately, the University of Georgia does have a bye in this year's college football playoff. However, they're preparing to play the playoffs without starting quarterback Carson Beck, who's exploring surgery to repair an injury to his elbow. That leaves sophomore Gunnar Stockton, who's going to make his first college start in a playoff game in the quarterfinal against either, I believe they play the winner of Penn State SMU.
Yes. Because everybody's talking about how easy the path is now for Penn State. So, does Carson Beck have a torn UCL? Does he have? Does he need Tommy John? It looked bad.
Yeah, it looked real bad. I'm telling you,
it looked like Brock Purdy.
I'm telling you.
I know. You believe that Stockton kid's a lot better than Carson Beck. But it's I do then look around at Georgia. Do they have enough of the other guys to pick up the slack? I don't know. I mean, they should beat Penn State. We'll do all our picks for this weekend coming up for the college side as well, but they should be able to handle Penn State. I don't think that'll be a problem there. But, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Ohio State, pretty healthy. Outside of, McLaughlin and Simmons, the guys that have been gone for the season. Tyleik Williams have been battling injuries, but he should be good to go. A couple weeks rest, Ohio State should be good for that. Want some golf updates real quick?
Sure.
Tiger out for a practice round. He's walking. He does not have a cart.
Getting that cardio?
Maybe the foot's getting back. Maybe the leg's getting back.
One more try at the Masters, maybe?
Oh, he'll play. I think he'll keep playing the Masters. I think that's his one shot to win one more majors at the Masters. But the problem is Augusta, which I've only heard because I've never been there, is a really hard course to walk. Yeah, it's a lot of hills. So that just literally came out this morning. Tiger's walking. He's not using a cart. So good for him. Good for him.
Alrighty, lastly here for the morning update. LeBron James makes history again in a Lakers uniform. Just removed 2 years after passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time leading scorer. He now has the most regular season minutes played in NBA history. Matt, do you dare guess how many minutes in the regular season LeBron James has played in the NBA?
All right, it's got to be... Okay, because...
I would have no idea.
Would you give me a calculator or no?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
'Cause
I
here's
don't even
what I
know
wanna
how
do.
I would go about calculating that.
So if I want to say you play obviously fouls. So 82 games, if you played 48 minutes, that's 3,900 minutes of every single minute of an 82 game schedule at 48 minutes. So that's obviously not the case. So I'm going to say, let's just say he averages 3. Okay. Over. I don't know why I think I actually have a good guess on this. I'm going to say it's around like 48,000 minutes. 48,000 minutes.
You're not far off, man.
Okay, and I feel like I read this or saw it somewhere. I'm saying somewhere around there. 48,500 is my bet.
Well, after
$1, Bob.
After logging 34 minutes in last night's game, he now has a total of 57,471 minutes,
a lot.
moving Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to number 2.
Yeah, that's it. That's a lot. And again, he's setting records that will never, ever, 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 ever be touched in the game of basketball ever again. That's probably one on the list.
All right, man.
Are
you ready for it?
Let's go.
All right, man.
Hey, you know as well as I do how important this one is.
Yes, very true.
You know as well as I do.
All right, man.
All right.
You ready?
It's going to be... I'm sad about this. I'm actually really sad about this.
Me too.
Yeah. Go.
All right, Hall of Fame Buccaneers.
Tom Brady. Oh, he's not in
I was
yet.
going to say, he's not
in
Hall of Fame yet. Not going there.
Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I don't even know who that is. I've heard of
You
him.
don't know who Warren
I've
Sapp
obviously
is?
heard of him, Matt, but are you sure he's in the Hall of Fame?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Seahawks. Did Jerry Rice ever play in the Seahawks? I'm just trying to think.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Um.
Can you think of anybody else?
Oh, Steve Hutchinson.
You
Did
sure?
he make it? I think he made it. I don't have another guess other than that, so you might as well.
Well, I don't want to lose on that.
But are you sure? I remember. I think Jerry Rice played a year in Seattle. Did he not?
You would know more than I would.
I'm pretty. It was either him or Randy Moss. I can't remember. I think it was Jerry Rice. Go Steve Hutchinson.
I would hate to lose like this.
I know. It's fine. Okay.
Dan Marino
Yeah, Dan Marino.
with no rings.
All right.
That's Baker.
Yes.
Future Hall of Famer, Baker Mayfield.
I think for a quarterback, you got to win 3.
Yeah.
I think you win 3, and you're in.
Dan Marino 1-0.
Well, biddy all the stats. You know, all the gaudy numbers. I had the gaudy numbers.
All right, Seahawks, Rams.
Bobby Wagner.
Right?
Yep. And then Odell Beckham for the Dolphins.
All right, Bengals, Tampa Bay. I actually know that's Giovanni Bernard.
Yep. Bengals Seahawks. There's something screaming at me.
You think it's a quarterback?
I don't think so.
Carson Palmer, Andy Dalton.
No.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Did he play in Seattle?
I don't think so.
Did he play in Miami?
It's Patrick? Yeah, I think he did.
And didn't he play in Cincy?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I know for a fact, or actually I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure.
What?
No.
Just rip it. Yeah, it's good.
One more. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Okay. It's not Chad Johnson, right? It's not Chad Ochocinco. Oh. Because I think it's TJ Hushmanzada. I think. That's my best.
We can hold on to it.
It's my best bet for right now. Okay. Other obscure Bengals like Jeremy Hill, Samaje Perine. I can't think of any offensive linemen. I want to talk myself into Jermaine Ifedi because I know he was in Seattle, and for some reason I want to believe that he was in Cincinnati, but I don't know that for sure. DBs. can't think of any. Just even in general. Like, obviously, that's a Richard term. It's not can't. I think it's TJ Houshmandzadeh. I think that's the answer. I do.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
I think that's it.
Rip it?
Yep.
That would be kind of sad if it didn't work.
Nice!
Wow. He was the most popular.
Nice! That's how you finish it on out there, buddy.
Yeah, TJ.
Hoosh! That's right. Mike got it, too. Got it. Love it.
How
Done and
good
done.
was TJ Hoosh?
I all right. I actually have no idea. I shouldn't say that. I have no idea. I watched him, but he was okay. You know, Chad Ochocinco was obviously the star on that team. He was really good. But that is all right. What do you want to do? You want to just get to time up? Because I got a lot of movies for time up. We got to do all the college games. We got to do we'll update the bracket. We'll update it on Monday.
Yeah, let's do timeout.
And then we got our Cavs parlay Browns game. Let's go. All right, I got a lot of Browns games in history today. So we start this day, 2021. The Browns fall to the Raiders 16-14. Nick Mullins had to start for the Browns. Joel Bitonio had to play at left tackle. The game was moved from Saturday to Monday due to COVID. Browns didn't have Baker, Case Keenum, Jarvis Clowney, Jed Wills, or Kevin Stefanski for this game. And they fall 2021 to the Raiders. COVID is the time. This day, 2020, Browns beat the Giants 20-6. Baker Mayfield had 2 95-yard touchdown drives in that game to beat the Giants this day, 2020. All right, this day, 2015, Browns fall to Seattle 30-13. Actually, I want to pull this game up. A little box score with you here.
Yeah, do I get a guess?
Yeah.
I've been hot.
2015. I got a game beyond that one, too, for you. All right, 2015, they fall to Seattle 30-13. We fall to 3-11 on the season. Starting quarterback for the Browns that day was who?
2015.
Yep. 19 out of 32, buck 61 touchdown and interception. John Paul Football, who started for Seattle.
What was that, Russ?
Russ, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jermaine Kearse was their leading receiver. Duke Johnson was our leading receiver and rusher in that game this day, 2015. We go back to this day, 2009. What a game for our guy, Josh Cribbs. 2 100-yard kickoff return touchdowns, and the Browns beat the Chiefs 41-34. Now, you'll also remember this game for what? Jerome Harrison rushed for 286 yards and a touchdown. Do you remember about Jerome Harrison back in 2009?
No.
So
For the Browns?
yeah. So the Browns were not good, obviously. And let me pull this up.
That would have been, was that Mangini's first year?
I want to say yes, because they fired Romeo after 2008. So, all right, picture this. We were 1-11. The Browns won their last 4 games in a row, which kind of saved Mangini's job, which everybody thought. One of those was beating Pittsburgh 41-34. So again, Josh had the 2 returns for the touchdown. Brady Quinn 66 yards and 2 interceptions. But I want to talk to you about Jerome Harrison, right? So obviously this team is, not good, and
Brady Quinn threw for 66 yards.
66
and they put up
yards
40
and
points.
2 interceptions. We put 41 points up because Jerome Harrison, had 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns on 286, and Josh had 2 kick return touchdowns. Wow. Now, let me get you the game logs here for Jerome Harrison, right? So this guy was, a backup, not really much, right? So in the 2009 season, right? In his last 3 games, he rushed for 286 yards, 148 yards, and 127 yards in his final 3 games. I think it's set as the record for the most rushing yards in a 3-game span in NFL history went to Jerome freaking Harrison. Wow. Over that stretch. But yeah, 286 in 2009. This day, 2005, Kobe Bryant scored 62 points in just 3 quarters but also single-handedly was beating the Mavericks. Kobe had 62 through 3 quarters. The Mavericks only had 61, which made it the first time that in the shot clock era that a single player outscored their opponent through 3 quarters. Pretty impressive. This day, 1993, the Indians send Felix Fermin and Reggie Jefferson to Seattle for Omar Vizquel. This day, 1993. This day, 1966, the NBA awarded Seattle the Supersonics to start in 1967. Today's National Sangria Day. Shout out to Mike Silver. You've been following me for a long time. You know my prior stop. You know about hashtag another sangria. Very happy birthday goes out to Rich Gannon, former offensive lineman for the Browns, Barry Stokes, David Wright, Malcolm Jenkins. How do you say Mbappe's first name? Killian?
I'd say, yeah,
Kylian
Mbappe.
Yeah, Kylian Mbappe. Jonah Hill and do you know who Dr. Pimple Popper is? You ever watch that show?
No. Oh, I don't understand how people like.
Oh, I love that
popping
show.
pimples. Ew.
It's become redundant.
It's so
but,
gross.
Then they had a show, obviously on TLC or whatever it is, that right after it was these people that had god awful foot problems. And they had these 2 doctors, like, they'd peel these socks off, and it would just be, like, the most messed up feet situation you've ever seen in your life. I watch those shows. Those are good shows. That other one, the Extreme Cheapskates, you ever watch that?
No.
This guy, and I see the clips incessantly on social media. Bro, he, saran wrapped his entire house because he wanted to be pristine to sell it. He bathed, washed his dishes, and washed his clothes in his jacuzzi in the back of his house.
That's disgusting.
He would go to meat markets and stores and buy expired food and would haggle with these people. Ugh. They'd be like, I'll give you this steak for $1. And it's like, it's $1. Like, what are you complaining about? The guy goes, I'll give you 75 cents for it. Ugh. Extreme Cheapskates. Another great TLC show, but there it is. All right, I said I got 5 for you.
Wow.
You ready to go? We start this day, 2002. Oh, man. First off, I love this movie, so it's kind of crazy that I can't come up with a really good way to describe it to you without giving it away. An ensemble cast of an American epic historical drama.
The Patriot.
No. After The Patriot, in historical times. It's set in 1863.
So the Civil War.
Yes. And it has to do with... What's that?
Roots?
No. Not Roots.
Isn't that a slavery movie?
Yeah, but that's like the when they first came over here, not Civil War time.
Oh, man, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, it was before. I guess, maybe it could have been. I don't know. This is during the Civil War, as an Irish immigrant group is protesting the threat of being drafted into the Civil War. It received 10 nominations.
Is this the Kings of New York or whatever? Gangs of New York?
Gangs of New York is correct. Gangs of New York is correct. Scorsese, Daniel Day-Lewis, Leo DiCaprio. Dude, him as Bill. Have you seen it?
No.
You got to watch it, man. It's so good. It is such a good movie. Especially Daniel Day-Lewis has won all the awards, done all that stuff. It's crazy. All right. Next up, this is a film. Came out this day, 1996. This has launched a murder mystery slasher franchise, which has included already 6 films and a 7th in active development.
Oh, Lord. What year?
96, it all started.
Saw?
No, you're close.
It's way too late for the obviously Friday the 13th and whatnot.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not Halloween. It's all that. The Mask of the Killer is very iconic.
Oh, Scream?
Scream is correct. Scream is correct. Scream 2, Scream in 2020, Scream 5 already came out. Scream 3.
Never seen it.
The original one's fine, because it's
Is that with Reese Witherspoon?
No, it's
Or, what's her face?
No, it's
I always mix them up.
Neve Campbell. She plays
really?
Sidney Prescott. Is that what you're talking about? Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox is in that too. I don't know if that's who
I'm
you're
just
thinking.
tripping.
I know that might be who you're thinking of. Oh, Drew Barrymore was in the first one.
That's what I meant. Drew Barrymore. I always mix up her and Reese Witherspoon.
She was in the first one.
That's
she
what
was
I
in the
meant.
first one. Yeah, she was in the first one. No, and then it's like a mystery because you don't know who it is. You kind of figure it out. It's just fun. All right, we go back. This day, 1991. A comedy series starring... It's a remake of the film from 1950. He portrays a businessman who becomes flustered while he and his family prepare for the nuptials of his daughter. Kind of gave it to you. All right, what are nuptials? You know what those are?
No.
Okay. His daughter is what?
Getting married?
Okay. So that would make him what?
Father of the Bride?
That is correct.
Oh, is that what
Steve
it's
Martin,
called?
Father of the Bride, is the exact answer that we're looking for right there. All right, this day, 1974, this I think should be easy, goes down as probably the greatest sequel in cinematic
Sorry,
history.
what year?
1974.
Godfather?
Yeah, The Godfather Part 2 is correct. And then the final one, this day, 1946, a holiday film that we're going to be watching a lot.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That is correct. Done and done. Young Rhyme. All right, let's get to it. We got to do our college football parlays before we go. So we start tonight. I want to make sure I have all of them up here.
Battle of Indiana.
Notre Dame 6.5. I'm not. I'm not gonna. We're just.
I'm taking Notre Dame to cover.
I will too. So wait. Oh God. All right. I screwed this all up. All right. Indiana, Notre Dame, -6.5. I will take Notre Dame. So will Ryan. All right. SMU, Penn State. Penn State is an 8.5 point favorite.
I'll take SMU.
So will I.
I just don't like Penn State.
I will as well. All right. Clemson, Texas. 12.5.
I will take Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I will too.
Uh-oh.
All right. 8.5.
I'll take Tennessee to cover. I think Ohio State's going to win.
We'll differ on that one. I'm taking OSU. Let's go. All right, tomorrow night, you got to start early. We talk about Spencer Holbrook. It was a great interview. Missed it, go back to the YouTube channel. You can check us out on the Big Play app as well. You got to start fast. You got to get the crowd on your side, and you got to put up the first couple of points in this game. And if you do that, they're going to have to run. It's going to be really hard for them to do that. I think with the D-line that we have, we should be able to dominate in that way. If you get out to the lead, though, you're going to do what? You're going to force them to have to throw, and they can't do that. So that's why I think you get out to a 10-point lead, and this game should be fine for Ohio State. The question is, can they do that? How much there is left over here from the Michigan game? I've kind of set that aside. I don't know how much the team has been able to do that. And I will fully understand and take credit, or I would say take credit, but I understand this pressure of Ryan Day. That has bled into the team. There is no question that has bled into the team. They're thinking about it. Can they set that aside and take care of business? I certainly hope so. I'm with you. I think Ohio State's going to win this game. And I'm just going to take them on the 8.5. I'm not discrediting what Tennessee can do or not do. But if they're only going to be able to run the football and we get out to a lead, this game is axed. This game is done.
I mean,
It's going to be cold. It's not going to be easy over there at Ohio Stadium. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be this giant scoring fest. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But I like Ohio State in this game.
Man, Ohio State's sitting here in the playoffs, a chance to go to the national championship, and the results to this question, Matt, are just unbelievable.
Well, yeah, we asked this morning how you feel about it.
How you feeling? Excited, nervous, or still bothered by loss to Michigan? 50.3% say still bothered by loss to Michigan.
I told you.
Man.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
No pun intended, y'all are nuts.
It broke a lot of people, and I think this was not some dominant Ohio State team that just ran through everybody, and you feel like they're going to do it again. They have flaws. I know they do. And that's where you start to question yourself. I'm not questioning Tennessee per se. I'm questioning Ohio State. That is 100% all of it. And that's where I sound like a bougie Ohio State fan. If the Buckeyes show up, this shouldn't be a game. If they show up and do what they're supposed to do, this shouldn't even be a game. But that is the whole idea. Again, just how you set yourself up with Ohio State. Like, that's my whole issue with it. It's all the eggs in the basket. I'm not worried necessarily about what Tennessee's going to do. It's if Ohio State's going to show up and choke again. That's it. And I hate living in that world. I hate doing that because you don't have that confidence in the Buckeyes after their last game out. But again, that was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. But if the fans on our Twitter question, if the fans can't let that go, I don't think the players did either. So there's two ways you do it. You come out, you're angry, you're upset, and you get after it, or you let that linger and it starts to get in your head and you start to overthink it. Plus, you also don't want to overcorrect because Ohio State, what's everybody been screaming? Why'd you want to run the ball so much? Like, throw it here. What's the one thing Tennessee can got to do? Stop the run. Throw it to Jeremiah Smith. Throw it to Emeka Ibuka. Because the other pain that you have as an Ohio State fan is what? You got to put this on Will Howard. And you don't like that. And I get it. But that's the only recipe for success for them tomorrow night. So I feel like they got it. I'm not one of these people who are going to be dancing around telling people how bad Tennessee is. I respect it. I get it. But that's just not where I'm at. Now, Sunday is a different story. Browns-Bengals, 8.5 for the home team Cincinnati Bengals in this one.
Too high, too low, just right?
Yeah, I think it's right. I actually could see this go up a little bit more. Browns just 1-5 against the spread their last 6, 1-5 straight up. Obviously, against Cincinnati, we're just 5-15 against the spread our last 20 games against Cincinnati. Ryan, we've won 9 of our last 13 games against the Bengals, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Burrow getting hurt, a lot of back and forth and all that. Browns are on a 6-game road losing streak. Bengals 6-3 against the spread their last 9. Okay. Joe Burrow in his career is only 2-5 straight up against the Browns. They are the least profitable team on the money line for Joe Burrow. He's also just 1-2 straight up at home. If he loses on Sunday, the Browns, that would be his most losses at home versus any opponent. Short rest for Burrow. He is 8-3 against the spread in his career, 8-7-1 against the spread, and extended rest during the season, not including week ones. So, wait, when did they play?
That was a game Deshaun tore his Achilles.
No. I mean, when did the Bengals last play?
Oh.
Were they on Thursday night? No. Why is it extended rest? Hang on. Kansas City just played Tennessee on the 15th.
Who did the Bengals just beat? The Bengals just beat the Cowboys.
No, the Titans.
Titans, that's it. That was the Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Sunday. Sorry, they put this in here, and I was like, oh. We talked about the AFC North underdogs are a real cash cow in this one, but I can't do it, man. Sorry. I don't want to say it. You know who I'm picking. I can't say it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with the Bengals as well.
Yep, it is unfortunately the answer to the questions. Cavs, let's go. Let's build that parlay out. What did I say, Jared Allen?
Double-double.
Double-double. All right. NBA. Cavs, a big 9. I got an even 9 here for you, buddy.
Okay.
All right, even 9. Let me see if I can... Ooh, they got a boosted one. 3 different games. Joel Embiid, Evan Mobley, and Bam Adebayo to all
NBA
get
TV tonight.
It is on NBA TV tonight, right? All right, so here we go. Do you think Donovan goes for 20 tonight, just as a boost?
Yeah.
All right, he's going to get 20. Player double-double. Jared Allen, yes. Plus 160, which is crazy. Oh, no, that's when I parlay it with the other one. Does Giannis get one?
He's a GTD.
Oh, is he game time? Shoot. All right, just on Donovan 20, Jared Allen double-double, and then give me the Cavs minus
6.5.
6.5 gets me to 275. Like that?
They do like that.
All right, get it in. Plus 275. Do a nice little 3-leg. 6.5, double-double for Jared Allen. 20 for Donovan Mitchell. And we'll be done and done. I'd appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget, we got Tailgate Show this weekend for the guys, getting ready to go for the Bengals and the Browns. Bobby Carpenter Show daily, getting ready to go for Ohio State tomorrow. We got it all. Go download the Big Play app. Check us out on YouTube, Big Play, Instagram, Big Play, and we can't thank our friends at Fairway Ford enough. Hey, by the way, again, tomorrow, 12 to 2, stuff the trunks, fill the trunks out there. Get out there for the Christmas sale at Fairway Ford. But from 10 to 2 tomorrow at the dealership in Canfield, it is fill the trunks for the Animal Charity of Ohio. And again, you can get your pictures with Santa. Take the pets out there for pictures with Santa. So we'll see you there. FairwayFordOhio.com is their website. Check the inventory. Get the address. We'll see you out there at Canfield tomorrow. Really appreciate you supporting our friends at Fairway Ford. Please tell them that we sent you. Go Cavs. Go Buckeyes. And let's go Browns. Just get it. Just get one. Probably ain't going to happen. But just Sunday, all I want to see is just one. Just one throw from Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
He's going to throw the ball more than once.
No, you know what I mean.
I do know.
Just get one that I go, I can work with that. One play that I can sit there and say I can work with that, and we'll be all right. That's all I ask for them. So we'll see how it goes for DTR getting the start on Sunday. And hopefully, again, we're getting ready to go for an Ohio State game in round 2. By the way, for next week, we will be here Monday. We're here Monday, Friday next week. So we'll be off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then the day after. I got something to do. So we will be here next week, Monday and Friday. So nice little bookend there to get ready to go. So we'll talk to you then. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.